Hello, everybody, and welcome to Menti Breaky Epi 44. Kind of angel numbers.
Yeah, can't wait till we get to 444.
Yeah.
And we're really famous and someone's editing this for us.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
That'll be so nice.
Yeah, just as a reminder, we actually do this whole podcast ourselves because we're independent women.
And it would really be nice if someone out there could give us a lot of money and also produce this for us.
Yeah, that would be nice. But we can do it ourselves. Mm-hmm. You know what's nice though? No matter what happens, we can do this ourselves.
Yep.
Like even if we got super famous and then some man was like in love with us and was like, "Oh my god, I want to produce your podcast." And then he like came into the picture and like swept us off our feet and like produced the podcast, and then he ghosted us, it actually wouldn't even matter.
It wouldn't matter
because we can do it ourselves.
We can do it.
So, yeah, okay, moving on to the episode.
Go ahead and try. Feel free to try. Fall in love with us.
Yeah, try. Just, make an attempt.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first topic, speaking of men falling in love with us, Hannah has on the outline, hypnotists and magicians and comedians are creepy to women, and Hannah is tired of working with creeps.
Yeah. Do you feel this at all?
I think all men. Like, no, I wouldn't. Okay.
No, magicians, hypnotists, and comedians way more. But I think there's a ranking. I think of those three, hypnotists are the creepiest.
Yeah, for sure.
Then magicians, then comedians. People just don't realize, like, how creepy these men are.
Okay. On another note, fuck, marry, kill, hypnotist, magician.
Kill all three.
Okay.
If I had to, ugh.
Okay, if I had to, marry a comedian.
Yeah. I kill the other two.
Fuck a hypnotist.
No, Monica, have you met a hypnotist lately?
It's never.
They're like, first of all, no, they're like ogres. Oh. But like in the worst way. They're like usually overweight, like balding or just
I was thinking
greasy.
Just in terms of I was thinking in terms of profession, like they all look the same.
They're bad. Yeah, they all look very bad.
Oh, okay.
And then they're just like not a mentalist, they're not a comedian, they're not a magician. They're just like kind of nothing. And it's so weird.
But like a magician would be like, I'm going to pull a coin out of your ass.
Magicians, it's just like they're more like pathetic.
Right. They are pathetic.
Because when you watch like open mic magic.
Oh, God.
It's like.
I know.
Brutal.
Well, I'm also like, you're at an open mic for like comedy. And then you're like pulling a rabbit out of your hat. And
it's also
5
just
minutes.
like something that you bought online.
Yeah. It's also like a lot of people in comedy and these art forms, they don't really understand like personal space and personal boundaries.
Well, and this is not even me being like rude. There's a lot of autistic people.
Yes.
A lot
on the spectrum. And
well, there's a lot of everything.
There's a lot of everything.
In this comedy world, there's a lot of autism, but there's also a lot of like literal pedophiles, predators, people who have domestics, who have like who are in and out of the mental hospital, like on a regular basis, violent, jail, stalking,
basement, apartments.
That's 50%. Well, okay, let's
not. No, that they got evicted from.
Let's not trash people in basement apartments.
No, I'm not trashing.
What the hell?
I'm not trashing people in basement apartments. I'm just saying, like, I don't think people on the outside, like, understand. Because my friends are like, why don't you just, like, date a comic? And I'm like, you don't understand that, like, these people are just, like, not...
They're creatures.
They're creatures. Yeah. Like, they're not, like... functioning people.
No.
Like they stay in the dark and then they like arise at like 7 p.m. for like an open mic.
Yeah, so the reason and they're all
I was
drawn.
gonna say basement apartments that they've already been evicted from.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. They're all drawn to comedy because they're allowed to hold a mic for 5 minutes and people have to listen to them.
Well, it's like there's that meme where it's like alcohol plus autism and then it's like equals open mic comedy.
Yes. Yeah, it is quite horrifying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just am like, and I'm just so sick of it. Because also like there are many autistic comics who are my friends and who are very lovely people. And who I could be like, hey, you're in my personal space right now. And they'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then there's like others that will like borderline like grope me. And I'm like, this is you willfully choosing not to understand this.
Yeah.
Like, at a certain point, you have to like take responsibility. You can't be like, oh, sorry, I'm autistic. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You're a grown man now. You have to know that women don't want you to just run up to them and grab them. And that's my thoughts on that. And there's nothing and what am I going to do about it? Literally nothing.
Yeah, I think
I might start yelling at them for like touching me.
Yeah.
That might be what I do about it, but other than that, because just like multiple men in the past week have like given me hugs that I did not want.
Right.
And were like, the hug, I was like, fuck you.
I did a show, and then like afterwards this audience member like came up to me and one other comic that was on the show, and he goes, great job, dude, and like says great job, and then he's like, great job, and like gives me like a full bear hug.
Yeah.
And I was like, literally just like, get off me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really, like, I feel like this, maybe this sounds bad, but this doesn't happen to me like a lot.
I think I go to worse places than you do.
Yeah.
Though. Like, I'm around these people more.
Yeah, I think so. But, yeah, when it happens, it is weird because you're just like, are you just like autistic?
Yeah. Or are you like, do you have ill intention?
Yes.
And I think sometimes they're covering up their ill intention with autism. And I'm like, no.
I think it goes back to our last week's episode where we were saying, like, it actually doesn't matter what your intention is. It matters how I feel.
Yeah. And I'm feeling this.
Yes.
And that indicates that you're doing something wrong.
Or even if it's right to you, it doesn't matter because it's
wrong to me. I
don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to do nothing about that. Just wanted to rant for a minute for all these creepos that I have to deal with on a nightly basis.
Yeah, fuck the creepos and stop being creepy to Hannah.
I would fuck the magician, kill the hypnotist, marry the comedian.
Yeah, I guess.
Kill myself. Bye.
Okay, moving on to our next topic. So, my egg freezing journey.
Yay!
So I feel like I've been not putting it off, but I just like haven't had the time because you have to be in the city for your like injections and stuff.
Okay.
So I was like on tour, and then at the end of January I'm doing a gig like not in town, so I couldn't do it in January. So then I'm like, fuck it, I guess I'll do it in February. So I had to do like my blood work and ultrasound that said like if I was gonna be like a good candidate for egg freezing.
Did you get to find out how old your eggs are?
They didn't tell me how old my eggs were, but they told me that I have a low egg reserve.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, fighting words.
I guess it's like,
okay,
good you're
bitch.
doing this then.
Well, no. So what they said was, because I was like, I'm pretty surprised because like my period's always been normal. And
you're healthy.
I'm healthy, and like my mom had no issues. Like there's been no issues of getting pregnant in my family. And they said, no, you would have no issues getting pregnant naturally, but that's unrelated to your egg reserve.
Oh, okay.
And your egg reserve has to do with egg freezing. So it's like, I think it's like number of eggs as opposed to quality. So like my quality is poppin'.
Okay.
But apparently like the number for like extraction or something is lower. So they were like, we just may have to do it like twice to get like a number of eggs where you would have a higher chance to be able to get one that's like usable in the future.
Okay.
So anyways, but we don't know any of that. Like we don't know like how many they're actually going to extract or whatever. So everyone listening to the podcast, pray for the right number of eggs to be extracted.
How many are they normally
I don't know. I think like 18 or something.
Okay.
But she said, yeah, they're predicting I get 9.
Oh.
So then I would
That's
have to
so
do it again.
odd.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like get more.
Yeah.
Just like get a bigger spoon or whatever. Like what the hell?
No, I was just like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Are they hiding? Are your eggs
I don't know.
hiding?
I guess so.
Yeah.
They're just like, we don't want to go.
Yeah.
Which I guess kind of makes sense because even like when my mom gave birth to me, I was like 3 weeks late.
That's so funny.
Because I was
and
like,
now your eggs are like, no.
Yeah, like shy. Yeah, I get it. It's comfortable in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to leave and
I wouldn't
put
go
in a
freezer.
That's insane.
You know what I said to her though? I was on the phone with her and I was just like, does this actually work? Yeah. Like I'm like I don't think I've heard of anyone like taking their egg out of a freezer
and having a baby.
Yeah. Have you? Like I've heard of people freezing their eggs.
I think I've heard of people using embryos.
Okay, yeah, but
I don't know that I've heard of people doing just the egg and it working.
Yeah,
well,
right?
Like it must though.
It must.
Like because people, I just don't know. Like, is there a certain point where it's like the eggs are like totally frosted over, like we can't use them?
I don't think it's that.
People like extract and they put them in other people and like you hear of all that stuff,
right?
So
I think for me, I more just think like, okay, so it's like you start, I don't know the exact numbers, but you have like billions of eggs or whatever the fuck.
Nope.
How many eggs do you have? Nope. You have like a couple hundred.
You have a couple hundred, I think.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Like enough to last you till you're menopausal.
Yeah, you have a couple hundred eggs and they start dying like the second you're born or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like so then when they extract, okay, so then apparently because like you're supposed to be able to extract 18, and what they're taking it from apparently is like, I don't know, like 100 or something. I don't know, but you're only able to get 18, and then out of the 18, only like 1 or 2
might work.
Yeah. So
I've
I'm just
heard
like
that it's a low percentage.
It's a low
what is the
That's
percentage?
what I'm saying. I don't know, but every percentage is like a very low percentage of like the previous, right? Because it's like, oh, you think like 18 eggs, 18 kids. No, they do 18 because then maybe you'll be able to have 2 kids from that.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, what if you could get 0?
Yeah. Well, because I know a lot of people that have done it. What do they call it?
IVF?
The IVF and getting 0 over and over and over again.
Yes.
So it's like, wouldn't egg freezing be similar to that?
Yeah, like I don't know.
Or is it, but when they take the eggs out of the freezer, then they like throw the sperm in it and then they put it in you?
I don't know.
Like they must.
I guess, yeah.
They're not just going to put the eggs back in.
But then I'm like,
good.
you take the egg out of the freezer.
Yeah.
So you extract 18.
Yeah.
You take them out, you put in the sperm, and you hope that like 2 make it.
And then they put them in you, and then they hope that 1 makes it.
When it goes in you.
Yeah. And then 1 turns into a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, that's like...
I don't know.
I've just never heard of someone being like, I froze my egg. But I think because it's so new, we haven't gotten to the point where people are like hatching.
Yeah, it just seems... but it just seems like... But I have heard of people combining an egg with sperm, putting it in them, and it working.
Right.
So the only difference is your egg used to be frozen.
Right.
Whereas other people's, they're literally like taking it out of them.
Right.
So that's the only difference.
Yeah.
Is they're using a fresh egg and you're using a frozen one.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's more just, does the freezing damage it?
Yeah.
Then it does work.
I love when people say
Kim K had a surrogate.
Yeah.
Lots of people have surrogates.
Yeah, surrogates.
That all works.
Right. It's just like the frozen element.
That's the new element.
Yeah. I just love when people are like when I talk about freezing my eggs and people are like, well, it's like not like 100%. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, I fucking know. Like, how do you think this is a helpful conversation to have with, oh, it's not 100%. A married person en route to having kids is telling me it's not 100% to freeze my eggs.
More of my married friends with kids are telling me to do it. And I'm like, isn't it like 20% or something? I'm the one telling them, being like, I can't afford this.
Right.
For the ratio that it is. If it was 100%, I'd be like, let's do it.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No.
So I'm like, that's a lot of money for me to cough up and then just wonder if this is gonna work.
Well, also, not that you watch reality TV, but Kristen Dowdy from Vanderpump Rules just got pregnant and she's like 40.
Oh, lots of old women get pregnant.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because sometimes I'll be freaking out about this, and then, but you know what? We have a friend, or I don't know if you're super friends with him, that's in the adoption process right now. And
yeah, like there's tons of options. I think this is what I predict. I think I'm gonna get pregnant naturally, But like I still think it's good to have this. I think it'll make me feel better to just have a few guys in the freeze.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, so I'm going to be starting this in February, and it's been like really hard booking shows because like I have an estimate. It's based on your day 1 of your period.
Oh, wow.
And I don't track my I'm not on like the pill or anything. So my period just every month just is like, hey, bitch. It's a really big surprise. And then when I was on tour with girls, my period followed their periods. And I was like, why are you the beta period? You know? So my period followed their period. So then my period was all over the fucking place. But then it kind of like got back to normal. It's like at the beginning of the month. So they're like, you need to send us like your estimated day 1 of your period. And I was like, bitches, I don't fucking know.
Your guess is as good as mine, sweetie.
Literally. So I was like,
I got to hang out with you for a month and then it'll sync up with yours.
Yeah. Just let me sleep over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got it at the beginning of January. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe beginning of February.
Right. Well, they should know that it's like.
Yeah. They were like, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
They were like, it's fine. Yeah. And then they were like, your estimated like egg retrieval date is like February 17th. So I know that like the egg retrieval date and then like the day or 2 after I'm going to be like bedridden. Because that's when they go into the
like
utes.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to like book my shows.
So you have to be on your period to do this?
Well, it starts.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so first you have like the injections and stuff to like, I don't know, get your eggs ready and shit.
But like, are you on your period when you get it extracted?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. They're just that's just the cycle that they use. Okay.
It's just like you start the whole process, which I think, I don't know. I kept being like, how long is this?
Yeah.
Is this a month?
But didn't we know another comic who's done this? Didn't she have to do like a lot of injections and stuff?
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
So like for that time leading up, I'm doing my injections each day.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I think I'll feel like a bad bitch. Being like, yeah, I can fucking stick a needle in my own stomach. Suck my ass.
Sure. Or you'll be miserable.
No, like I've waxed my own armpits.
Nice.
And I've I don't know. I just feel like
that's about it.
I just feel like as a woman, we're just like used to pain. Like it's like,
for sure. No, you're fine. You can stick a needle in your stomach.
I can stick it. We went to other ship. All these men are like crying, going into the cold plunge. I'm hanging out.
Both of us beat all the men at our cold plunge session.
I'm literally hanging out for 2 minutes.
We have like men versus women for pain tolerance is like
insane.
But yeah, sure, feel like a bad bitch, but you are a bad bitch.
I am a bad bitch.
Stick a needle in your stomach to think that.
But so then she was saying that the estimated date of retrieval is like February 17th, which sounds like 2 weeks after the first date of my period. But then she's like, it could also be based on like how you react to the stuff.
Okay.
Because I always thought it was like a full month.
Right.
But I think it's less than that.
Okay, that's good.
Anyways, so yeah, I'll keep everyone updated.
Yeah, exciting.
But
are you going to be like crazy hormonal and stuff when you're doing the injections?
Who knows, man?
That's what it is, right? It's hormones that you're injecting to get like more eggs.
Yeah, to get them to like come to the surface. So you're going to be like
literally a crazy person for a month?
I might be.
Yay.
I
cannot wait.
I don't know though, because I'm not really that affected by my period.
Yeah, you don't get like...
I don't get like
upset
PMS.
or angry.
No.
Do you get... Because I said I get really depressed on my period.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
No.
You don't really have anything?
Not really.
Okay.
Like so maybe I eat a bit more.
Right.
Maybe I have like one... Not even cry, but I'm just like, oh, maybe that's why I was so sad about that a few days ago.
Okay.
But it's like not really... I've never really been that like affected by that stuff. So I'm not expecting it. But then also I have a low egg count. So I was like, maybe I don't know myself at all.
Maybe that's why you're not affected. You're like barely putting out an egg. Maybe all of the emotion is in the egg. And that's...
I'll ask the doctor when I start.
All of the emotions in the egg.
It's a female doctor.
Yeah.
As if I would go to a male doctor for my eggs. Are you kidding me?
I've always had female doctors. I've had 4 doctors in my life.
I had one male doctor and I hated him only because he was my mom's doctor, and I was like, literally get me out of here. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Mom, get out of here.
Yeah.
And she goes to him and he like prescribes her Advil.
Yep. And they're like, you're actually lying. And you're like, oh.
No. No men doctors ever.
What was it? Oh, it was a man, and it was a woman that figured it out when I was like burning a hole in my throat and couldn't eat. It was a man that literally held the medication in his hand and was like, no, you just need to change your diet. And then a woman was like, you're burning a hole in your esophagus because you're taking this medication wrong. And I was like, thank you. Thanks. Actually, it's my diet.
Yeah.
You're actually wrong.
Yeah, I have to cut out sugars.
And it's because it was sugars and spicy food. Right. Even though I haven't been able to eat for a week.
And if you guys have frozen your eggs, I've heard a lot of horror stories about egg freezing, but the place that I'm going to...
Yeah, how did you end up deciding on this one? Because you were like, some of them, you're like, you guys suck.
Yeah, like I went to one. They're all very spa-like, which I don't like.
No, that's insane.
No, I'm just like, why did you spend so much money in overhead?
Put the money into the freezer.
Put the money into the goddamn freezer. Put the money into not charging me $800 a year for a storage fee.
And they have like soft lighting, and you're like...
They have tea.
No.
I look at the tea machine.
Do you have cucumber water?
No.
They have a tea machine.
Well, like they have like then like different teas, like a hot water machine, and like I just look at that and I'm just like, I could have spent less.
Yep.
Like, why aren't we in a medical setting?
It's like decorated.
Yeah. So the first place I went to was like way too decorated, and investors walked through while I was in my robe about to do my ultrasound.
Right.
Like two men in like suits.
That's insane.
And I was like, yeah, no, I'm out of here.
We don't even give tours at our place, and it's a literal spa.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, what
we do not give tours. That's like a standard that we have.
Yeah,
That's
was so
crazy.
Weird. They were like, this is where they do the ultrasound. I'm sitting there in my robe.
And this is someone who is getting an ultrasound done. You're like, hi, I'm not a paid actor. Yeah. I'm a real person.
I felt like a hamster.
That's crazy.
I don't know why I said hamster, but like a mouse and like
a fish in a that they're looking at in an aquarium.
That's a better
one. A mouse, a rat, in a
lab. Cage. In a lab. Yeah.
No.
So I was like,
you're a fish.
Thanks. So I was like, not going here. And I heard like bad things about that place. It's like they'll do the procedure even if you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Even if it's not going to work.
Scammy.
Yeah,
they'll be like, oh, yeah, they would tell you have 200 eggs.
They'd be like, you have so many eggs.
Yeah. And the other place is like, you barely have an egg.
You have so many eggs, we have to do it 5 times. Because there's
to get
just
all
like,
those eggs.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
There's too many for once.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the first place. The second place, it felt more like a medical building, which I was happy about. Mm-hmm. But number one, it was very far from where I live. And when you're doing the process, you have to go in from like, it's like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. like basically every other day for like monitoring. So I was like, I don't want to have to go all the way there. And then also they lost my blood work.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
And they were just like, sometimes it happens. And I was like, okay, well, what if you lose my egg?
Yeah, and be like, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, or mix up my egg with someone else's egg.
That'd be funny if you got like a black baby. I'm sure that'll be a Netflix movie in a year.
My husband's like, you cheated on me. I'm like, literally, it was an egg.
It was an egg. I mixed up my eggs.
Yeah, no, so that's, and then that was also the place that had like, it was like, get your blood work for free, like as an incentive to come. And I'm like, I don't want to sale on my eggs. Like, I just feel like that's
I completely agree. I had that rule for when I got my tits done.
Right.
I was like, any place that's ever had a sale, I'm not interested.
Right.
Why do you need a sale?
Why do you need a sale?
You should be so good that people are paying and more money to go to you.
But that's the problem with these places is they're not public. It's not public health. So it's private, so they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
So they can be like, you should do egg freezing 12 times and pay us $200,000.
Right.
And you're like, okay, fucking sure.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah. So it is weird that it's like such a health thing, but it's not.
No, because you're in a spa at some of these fucking places.
Huh.
Anyways, the third place that I decided on is because I heard good things from like multiple people. I also went on Reddit. And because Reddit has all the answers.
Yeah, Reddit has everything.
So I decided on Pollen, and that's where people had a good experience.
That's such a cute name.
Pollen?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like pollinate.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even really think of that. I was like, okay, Pollen. But yeah, so I decided on Pollen. Their yearly fees are a bit high. It's like $800, whereas like the average place is like 500. Okay. But I was like, you know what? I've already gone through 2 places.
I mean, for the whole year, whatever.
Yeah, and I was actually, because you do an initial consultation with like the doctor, and this was the doctor that I was like most comfortable with, and I was great. Like, this is more important to me.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
that's why I went with the surgeon I went with.
Yeah,
because I was like, I like that I got to meet with you directly, and you made me feel really comfortable.
And then she was like, I'm sure they went over this at the other places, but blah blah, and I'm like, never heard that in my life. No idea what you're talking about.
I've been to 4 other places.
Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying that you have to do that much of your own research.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Okay, so we settled on pollen. Yeah. And it's close to you, or?
Yeah, it's like a 10-minute drive.
Amazing.
Which is nice.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. I actually heard people really enjoyed their egg freezing journeys. I think you learn a lot about like your body and stuff.
For sure. And of course.
Yeah, you just put the little guys in the freezer and then you know, gallivant around.
You keep referring to them as guys. That's crazy.
Well, they can be girls, but I just meant like they're like little, I just picture them as little guys.
How's that decided though? Is it like the mom or dad? Or it's just like the
chromosomes.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I don't really remember how babies are made.
Well, no, you fuck.
Yeah.
And then, like...
And he has a sperm. Yeah. And you have an egg.
Yeah.
But, like, what decides if it's going to be XX or XY?
Isn't it, like, how it fertilizes? Or, like, what's in that specific sperm?
It's the sperm, though. Isn't it the guy that decides?
I think it's the sperm.
But you have girls, and you keep calling them guys. Don't you just have girls? Aren't all eggs a girl?
Oh, maybe.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
No. I think they're non-binary. They're non-binary. I think they're they-thems.
Yeah. Can you please use non-gender specific language when speaking about your eggs, Monica? Because it's making me uncomfortable.
I just picture the eggs saying that. Yeah. I know. I meant...
They all have blue hair. And those thick glasses.
But you know when like people are like, hey guys.
Can you stop gendering us? Or we're not coming out.
We already don't want to come out.
We don't want to come out. Your eggs literally won't come out.
No, they're hiding.
You're like, I need you to come out of the closet and my uterus.
They're all gay men.
Yeah.
Every frozen egg is a gay man.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're like, we've never had this before, but all of your eggs are gay men. You're like, that's like, I knew fine. It. You're like, honestly, I'm okay with that.
That's what I was predicting.
I'm fine with it.
I'm like, give birth to them all.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do 5 at once.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, our next topic, speaking of men and gay men. Well, I guess not gay men. Whatever. In wrestling.
This has been on.
This has been on the agenda for literally 5 weeks, and we just keep not talking about it.
I'm like, okay. Go on.
In wrestling, one of the moves is you can stick your fingers up a guy's butt. Did you know that?
And that's just like, okay.
Yeah, it's one of, like, you know how one of the moves is like a headlock?
Yeah.
One of the moves is like fingers up the butt.
Yeah, like wrestling is so gay.
Like, no, it is. It's like reality TV for men.
Come on. Yeah. You can get a lot of like diseases from wrestling too, because you're like sweaty and like rubbing yourself against each other. Ew. You can get like STIs just from wrestling.
That's so gross.
Mm-hmm. I learned this that like. Where do
you learn these things?
Like I was researching like STIs as like a teenager, I think. And it's like all of the ways you get them are like, because it's like, can you get them from a toilet seat or hot tub? Right. It's like, no. You get it from sex or wrestling.
Wow.
Yeah, they give each other like a lot of diseases. Well, I'm not a lot, but like if someone has one, then like the whole wrestling team gets it.
Ew, gross. Yeah, I guess there's like saliva and stuff.
Oh, you're sweaty. You're sweating all over each other, rubbing up against each other.
Have you ever stuck your fingers up a guy's butt?
I have. And like, so when I was younger, like I always wanted to stick my fingers up a guy's butt.
Why?
It was like a joke almost, like, cause they're so against it. So then it became like a little like, you know, just like in public or whatever, I would be like, pretend to like do it and they'd freak out. But then finally I dated someone who's like, okay, like, let's do it. And we literally did it in like the nicest way you could imagine for them. So I don't know if I was like blowing him and did it or like.
Yeah, that's the way.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then afterwards he's like, just felt like there was a finger up my butt. And I was like, fair enough. I just felt like I was sticking a finger up someone's butt. And that kind of cured me of ever wanting to stick my finger up a guy's butt again.
I've never wanted to. And it's like one of the things I refuse. I've been asked.
Oh, really? See, I've never been with a guy who wants it. But you've been with guys that are like, please?
Guys are either like, please, or they're like, never.
Yeah.
There's no like, we can try.
Some guys are like really into it.
Yeah. But like the guys who are into it, they only got into it because they used to be nevers, and then a girl like did it, and then they were like, oh.
I don't know if that they were nevers. I feel like they probably went from I'm curious to this feels good.
Maybe. But yeah, I've had guys request. Yeah. And I'm just like, I won't do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I had one guy that requested, and I was like, I'll do it if we get to like date number 10, and then we broke up on like date number 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like anything horrible.
Well, but they poop.
I mean, you're not doing it like right after a poo.
I don't know why it really grosses me out.
I mean, again, I don't know how far you're like shoving a finger in. I wasn't like going super far.
You just go on the outside?
Well, you can kind of go in a little bit.
Ugh.
But I also just like washed my hands after. Like there was no poo on my finger, but I was like, okay.
Well, don't you have to like
tuck it in and out?
No, but like make it like wet or like
okay, so this is like when I did it, there was like I think I had just like finished giving him a massage, so my hand was oily. So I was like, and I was like blowing him. I was like, this would be the perfect time, and he didn't stop me. And then afterwards, we were both like, not for us.
Right. Okay. So it was already like
everything was oily and lubricated, and there was no poo involved.
I'm gonna barf.
You wrote this topic.
No, but you wrote this. Have you ever stuck your finger?
Well, because it's a good topic. You just wanted to talk about guys in wrestling sticking their fingers up each other's asses.
Yeah. Okay. You have to Google it.
I don't want to.
They really stick them up there.
That's perverted. Like, how is that allowed?
I guess it's a body part that you latch onto their head, you latch onto their butt.
Yeah, but you're not sticking your fingers in their mouth. It's an orifice. Like, I think you should be like, no orifices.
Well, but it's on the outside of their clothes.
I guess. Oh, I guess. Like, it's a way to grip them.
Yes.
That's insane.
Like, but does that mean, like, if it's female wrestlers, they can go into the vag?
Apparently.
I don't think so.
You can shove a fist up there.
Hey, Siri, in wrestling, are you allowed to stick your hand up a woman's vagina? I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, of course. That's...
Hey, Siri, is vagina a body part you can attack in wrestling? She doesn't have an answer.
No.
Well, you can stick your fingers up a butt, so I don't think it's that crazy, Siri.
I doubt people would.
It's called when you stick your fingers up a guy's butt, checking the oil.
Okay.
That's what it says on Reddit.
For wrestling?
Yeah. And then one person asked about grabbing your opponent's balls. Oh, you can't pull on a victim. You can't pull on your opponent's penis and balls.
That's
you can
good.
stick your fingers up his butt. What if the opponent gets an unintentional erection? Does that happen? Yes, it does.
Yeah, that's light. Yeah. Well, you're sticking your fingers up their ass. Like, that's a risk. They might get hard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And like, ooh, that's gay.
Yeah. And they get hard. You're like, actually, this is gay. That's when you realize.
Okay, so our next topic is Hannah on Facebook Marketplace. You've been active, eh?
Yeah, I've been active. It's a new era for me. I was big on Facebook Marketplace before. I'm back on.
I've had Facebook Marketplace times.
Because they got rid of all of the scamming. Because I got off Facebook Marketplace because for the longest time it was all just like businesses pretending to be sellers.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, this rug. And then you click. Yeah. And it's like this rug like for $1 and it's just their store.
Yes.
That's all gone. Okay. And we're back to just users.
Right.
It's the best.
Yes.
It's the good old days.
Okay.
So I'm big into that. I'm also into true crime right now.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm just listening to podcasts. It's helping me fall asleep sometimes.
Yeah, live your life.
And but I am like, as I'm like going to these random ass houses to pick up like a bathroom vanity, I'm like, I might be true criming myself right now.
You should meet them like downstairs.
Nope. Walk right in.
The only time I've walked into a house was with my mom because we were picking up like a table.
Yeah. Oh no, a single man. He's like, come into my apartment. I'm like, oh, you're selling me a rug for $20? Sure. You seem trustworthy.
That's, yeah.
I know
not? You like this shit.
I know.
This is your thing.
Impulse risky behavior.
Well, this is also like you always think that you can like take them.
For sure.
I don't know why. Like you're scared when we go on like a mini roller coaster at the X, but you're like, I'll walk into this man's house.
For sure.
But you're scared on the roller coasters that aren't scary at the X. Like the one lift that just goes in circles.
Yeah, hate that.
But the Polar Express where people like died, you're
That's
like,
fine.
Yeah.
Love it. It is funny that when I'm buying something from a woman, she'll be like, meet me outside at a Shoppers Drug Mart or something. And when I'm buying something from a man, he's like, I'm going to put a blindfold on you and take you into my apartment and smash you over the head and kill you. Yeah, they don't care. No. They're like, yeah, walk right in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. And then I keep seeing this Facebook Marketplace ad for these like wigs, but they're like wigs on this like 23-year-old man, like that's who's modeling them. And then the caption is like, really sorry I don't have a model for like my wigs because it's the mom. So it's the mom's wigs. And she makes her 23-year-old son like model them for her, and I'm like, I'm literally in love with this man.
That's
like it's so cute.
I know some of the stuff you see is just like
it's so funny.
And some of the stuff like people will be selling literal garbage.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, price is firm. I'm like,
I'm like, okay, fuck you.
It's crazy.
I get it though, because like I bought a Skims dress and it was before you could return to Skims. And so I put it onto Facebook Marketplace and people kept trying to like buy it at lower rates. And I was just like, no, because I was like, well, I just have it in my closet. Like, I don't need to, like, I'm not in a rush to sell it. And then finally one girl was like, yeah, I'll meet you, like, right near your house and I'll pay you the amount for it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, see, that makes sense, though.
But if it's, like, garbage,
but
it's
this
like,
is
come
literal
on.
garbage.
Yeah, I like that you're sassy with them, though,
I'm getting sassy with them.
Yeah.
Because people need to be sassed.
You're just like, I wish someone believed in me as much as you believed in this chair. Because they, like, wanted to keep the price firm.
Yes, because it was firm and it was a garbage chair. I was like, are you out of your mind? And today I was like, what is the dimensions of this? I'm interested.
Right.
And they said, or I said, can you send me the dimensions of this? I'm interested. They said, yes. Are you interested? I'm like,
send me the dimensions.
Where did we lose track?
They lose track. People really lose track. Yeah.
I literally said I'm interested and I want the dimensions.
But it's usually the person interested that loses track, because you can just send that blanket message.
I know, and I did that by accident to a guy.
Yeah,
I said, because it's very easy to just click
send. Yeah,
and it's send.
Basically what you can do if you haven't been on Facebook Marketplace is it says, hi, I'm interested in this.
Is this still available?
Is this still available? And all you have to do is click a button and it'll send it that.
Sent. So I clicked that by accident on something I didn't want. So then I had to pretend to be interested in it.
Oh, did you?
I felt bad.
Just ignore them.
Because the guy got so excited.
Aww.
And then I was like, yes, send me the dimensions. And he sent it. I said, I'm sorry, that won't work for me. I was never going to buy the chair. I'll be honest, I was never going to buy the chair. It was a shit chair. But I made him measure it.
I'm dying.
Well, now he has the dimensions for the next person that asks.
Copy
You're
paste.
welcome. This guy.
Asking him to pull up
measuring
things.
it. I'm like, I was never going to buy it.
Do you want to? Okay, I want to end on one little thing that I learned today. Did you know that H&M stands for something?
Oh.
It stands for Hens and Maritz.
Oh, is it like Swedish or some shit?
So hens apparently is like women.
Oh.
But then they bought a company called Maritz.
Oh.
So now it's Hens and Maritz, because I went on my credit card statement. It says purchase Hens and Maritz. I'm like, the
I've never
fuck is
shopped
this?
at Hens and Maritz in my life. In my life.
No, I just thought it was.
H&M.
I mean, like, I guess you would think that H&M, the H and the M would stands for things, but I never, like, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it is funny when that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Like every time you drive on the Gardner in Toronto and it's like, you're now entering the Frederick E. Gardner Expressway.
Yeah.
And you're like, who the fuck is that?
Who's Frederick?
Adidas.
What's Adidas?
I think it's All Day I Dream About Sports.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I think so. And then we would make up, as children, there'd be like lore, and it would be like All Day I Dream About, and you would put in a different thing. Sex, this, that. I think it's All Day I Dream About Sports, though. Wow. You want to Siri it?
Yeah, I'm going to Siri it.
See, she never knew. All these places.
Hey, Siri, what does Adidas stand for? Siri doesn't know shit.
No, Siri's not helpful this time.
She never is. Adidas is an abbreviation of the name of the company's founder, Adolf Dassler.
Well, let's not get into that.
However, many have speculated otherwise, suggesting that the brand settled on the name because it was an acronym for All Day I Dream About Sport or Soccer.
Oh.
So I guess people don't know. It might have been Adolf, and then they needed to rebrand.
For sure. Yeah, they were both. It was two brothers. People are going to be like, actually, it wasn't this.
Hens and Moritz.
Hens and Moritz, Adolf, sportsman.
Yeah, All Day I Dream About Sports. Sounds better than Adolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see why they did the rebrand.
I could see why they...
After World War II, they're like, we might need to rebrand.
Yeah, we can't really do that.
It was literally just called Adolf's. Like...
Adolf's Hits?
Yeah. Like, I know you're a different guy, but there's something not
Adolf's
working.
Hit shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys. This has been great. Have a nice week. My legs really hurt, so I'm going to end this.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.